All right, hello everybody, and welcome to GREYNOISE. My name is Master Chen,
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And this is Smaction.
and I think I did that wrong. So let's wait 5 more seconds, and then we'll go right into the thing. 'Cause then
Yeah,
I can just
you
do
forgot our name for a
I feel like we
second.
don't have our. I feel like we don't have the intro down yet.
We'll get it. We'll get it. All right. So what do you guys want to talk about first? Actually, I know what we want to talk about. DEF CON.
Yep. DEF CON was awesome.
Here at the shop, we're actually having a post-DEF CON party. It's more like a depression party.
Yeah, it's,
we've got the Lockpick Village over there. Hardware hacking around here somewhere.
Post-con mortem going
We got
on.
hardware hacking in the back over there.
Right. So, but go ahead, guys. What were your thoughts? BGM, you first?
I soldered something for pretty much my first time at DEF CON, and it was awesome. I spent 3 hours trying to figure out how to surface mount some LEDs that were about that big.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, I put my thumb and finger roughly 2 millimeters apart. They were tiny, and it took me a long time, and it was annoying. But I have a newfound respect for all those people who could do surface mounting really well.
Yeah, that was my second time soldering, but that was like my first time soldering something that took like about 3.5, maybe 4 hours, and I had to break it up among 2 days.
Well,
now
that
both
was
can-
also because of the tools. You didn't really have tool access.
Yeah, that's another story. We can get into that.
You now both can work at Foxconn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Super
Build,
great.
build,
Super great.
build some Apple phones.
I hear they have super great benefits. I'm just saying.
Really?
Whatever. Super great
Aren't
benefits.
they?
Like what?
Aren't they in not America?
It's in China.
Right.
Super great benefits.
So
That's what I'm saying.
So about DEF CON though, now this
So
was
they don't work 12-hour days. That's the benefit.
No, you're only working like 16-hour days, maybe 18 on a lucky day.
Oh,
Hey,
well, that's
look,
not
Crux,
bad.
Crux is hanging out with us today. Hey,
Hey,
Crux,
how's
how you
it
doing?
going, Crux?
Hey, so we're actually just talking about DEF CON, and this is the post-con depression. And what we were about to get into was, so this was a new venue, Paris and Bally's. Anybody have any thoughts on how they handled it and whatnot?
So I thought that the new location having more space was pretty good. I liked the contest area quite a bit.
Yeah, the contest area was set
I
up
wasn't.
really nice.
I didn't really go to the talk area too much, but looking at the floor plan, it looked like it was kind of hell.
Yeah, we have some stories on that one too. So
Yeah.
this is like our press release because we were press at the con. So we're going to use this podcast episode as like a release, and then we'll talk about what we have. So I was speaking about the Paris and the Bally side. There was actually rumors from last year, which turned out to be true, of one side would be all contests and villages and whatnot, and then the other side would be nothing but speaking. And at first you're thinking like, oh man, that's going to suck because it's going to separate the con into like basically two different cons, right? But it actually, I think it worked out very well. I actually don't go to a lot of the talks because later, they're available on YouTube for the most part. And so I kind of just stay away from that area in general anyway. And it ended up being pretty good. Although there was an issue with, I guess, one of the goons, supposedly, now this is just what we've heard, is that one of the goons got power hungry, I guess, and stopped the line from moving. And so everybody in the Paris was kind of just stuck there, like almost like a mosh pit for a good 3 to 5 minutes. And, people were tweeting about it. Oh, I didn't know I had to get in the line to get out of DEF CON 2,
Yeah, no, one of my friends got caught up in that line. It's true. And I think that goon was actually removed because the friend who got caught up in that line didn't see the goon
I
from
didn't
then
know
on.
what to make of the goons this year because other than that story and maybe one other, the goons were like mellow this year, and I don't know that I can handle a mellow goon.
Yeah, they were pretty mellow. I mean, I don't think I've heard there was a little bit of the
There
yelling.
was that
but
one
not too
guy.
much.
There was that one guy right when we got our badge, who was pretty strict on us leaving the line after we got our badge.
Oh, he was the guy in the rice hat. Which
Yeah.
it is what it is. The growing, I don't think there was a lot of growing pains as far as they seem to handle it pretty well.
Basically, with like the one-on-one track, they relocated that, and that supposedly helped a lot of the issues they were having.
Yeah, I think talking about lines, I think right at the beginning the lines were atrocious. I mean, you had to wait an hour and a half before the talk you wanted to go in to get
You
into
had to
that
go
talk.
to the talk before to get to the talk you wanted.
Basically.
Yeah.
Man, I have stories for all of these.
Until
but
until they relocated 101, that really helped the 101 track a lot.
Yeah, but then that kind of made the contest area kind of a mess for a while. So.
Just briefly.
yeah, for a
Well,
little bit.
it's a new area. We have to feel the space
It's,
out a bit.
it's a new venue. No one quite knows. That's why the goons are a little mellow. Every time they change venues, with DEF CON, that first year is everyone's kind of, well, this isn't the last place. What exactly can we get away with? What are the real rules here? It's like, after the Alexis Park, going to the Riviera, it's like, well, can we color the pools? Or no one was quite sure.
Could we turn the pool blue, like actual blue dye when you jump in?
I feel sorry for the people at Bally's this year, though.
Why?
Because the Sky Talks were all on the 20th floor or 26th
26th floor.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Of a building.
that
And
was a nightmare.
Well, it wasn't so much a nightmare for con-goers because you're there, you know what to expect. But there were like people on the 17th floor who had a room who had nothing to do with DEF CON, and like they went to get an elevator and it's full both ways, right?
Yeah, well, they also had issues with like the parties at night. So if you happen to be in that elevator bank, you were kind of screwed because there was just a huge mass of people that prevented you. From
I just know
getting to your room.
checking out, there was a family of 4 with two baby carriages that was stranded on the 17th floor.
Oh, wow. Well, hopefully, next year they've taken note of, the choke points, the bottlenecks,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, there is actually a trick. So on the 16th floor, that has both the banks of elevators. So you can go to the 16th floor, go to the other bank, and then get down. So
Very
okay, that's
cool.
kind of cool. We got to remember that for next year.
yes.
Give that tip to our listeners too if they decide to go to DEF CON next year.
They just got it.
So, Crux, how are the contests? You were actually running quite a few of them, I think. Or you
Yeah,
had
I was running Crash and Compile. So this year, Crash and Compile went really well. In the past, we had done the pre-registration, basically for our pre-qualifications for Crash and Compile, like pre-DEF CON. And the issue that we'd have is trying to get people to get excited about DEF CON stuff before DEF CON was actually happening. So we ran our pre-qual at DEF CON during Friday, and we had more people than we had ever had compete with it. So
Wow, that's
that
awesome.
went really well. I was also involved with the DEF CON Darknet contest, and everyone had a blast on that.
Oh, yeah, we just talked about how
Yeah.
that was like our first real soldering experiment
Yeah.
there.
I liked it except for the surface mounting. But I'll get used to
Surface
that.
melt was not hard.
Yeah, says an
Says
experienced
the
wizard.
experienced
Says an
solderer.
experienced
You follow
wizard.
my instructions.
I did.
We did. We tried.
Okay,
I
the
mean,
LED thing kept sticking to the tweezers because of the static electricity, so I'd try to drop it on the liquefied solder, and it would just stick to the tweezers. So I'd shake it, and then it'd fall on the floor, and I'd get a
Well,
replacement.
The instructions basically, how do you get around that is you heat the solder, you put the LED in place, and then remove the soldering iron while keeping the LED in place with the tweezers. And then once the solder solidifies, then you're fine.
I'm gonna need a video tutorial.
yeah, get off. Oh, yeah.
It is in the instructions.
So,
Shake furiously was step number 29.
hey, what's up, Vic? How you
Yes,
doing?
yes.
Could you move to the right just a tad? There you go. Hey, Vic, do you have any?
Kind of limbo under the camera.
We're doing live streaming today, which, by the way, we are at 117 North 4th Street in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. It's Sin Shop here every Friday. We're starting our live stream at 8 o'clock now, so the show will be more consistent. So hello, everybody. Hi. We hope you're watching. I don't know how many people are watching, and I hope that Zenify is fact-checking our DEF CON stories, which I don't know if you can right now because there's no other resource except for our own.
Fact check a DEF CON story though?
Yeah, you can.
I
I
don't
think you can.
think so.
I'm just going to
tell
go,
you,
sorry.
He's
Crash
like,
and
we're
Compile
gonna
didn't
say
actually
something,
happen.
and he's gonna be like, wait a minute.
That
on
didn't
Twitter,
happen.
On Twitter, it says it did not happen this
Yeah,
way.
I don't think that happened,
It said
guys.
DEF CON was canceled a lot of times. I'm pretty sure it didn't happen.
Yeah. So there was another story. Speaking
Can I go back to
Yeah.
splitting up DEF CON between two venues?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say that I think it was easy because they were so close together.
They were-
Like
Yes,
the
they
Paris
were-
conference area where the talks were going on and the vendor area was like a 2-minute walk away
Yeah,
from
just
where the
right.
contest
Yeah,
area was.
comparatively to like the Rio, like where some of the I was always at like the far tower, and it was trying to like take a hike to Cambodia
Yeah.
to get to your hotel room and back. And everything, even though it was a lot more space, everything was all kind of near each other. So I think that worked out well.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with that.
And the one thing that they did that was really nice that they've done in years past, but I don't think they could do it at the Rio or the Riviera, and that was the talks were on closed circuit TV in the rooms.
They did that at the Rio as well, and
Oh.
Riviera, yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
because
yeah.
the talks are put on YouTube.
Yeah.
A couple of months after.
In
the
fact,
con.
like I think next year I really want to push for getting a room at the venue because maybe I would like to see a talk, but man, I don't want to stand in those lines. I don't want to be in those
No,
crowds.
Yeah, well,
You gotta reserve
I've
it
learned
now.
a while ago that if even though I'm in town, I always get a room at DEF CON.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
You waste so much time on like commute back and forth each day, and
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to have kind of a home base where you can keep your stuff and
Right. Completely agree, and I would love to do
and,
that every year.
If you're at out late partying and you had a bit to drink, you don't have to worry about driving home.
Yeah, that's the best
exactly.
part.
That,
of it.
that was the best part that we had. So
Yeah.
there.
I'm glad that you mentioned Alexis Park earlier, by the way, because that was our first DEF CON. Was at Alexis Park?
DEF CON 12. DEF CON 12 was our first.
Yeah.
Right after high school, we were 18.
Yeah,
So
it
we
was
graduate. It was like a month of whatever. I think that was probably the same year we did war driving
Yeah.
for the first time. And then DEF CON, we're like, oh, what the hell
That
is this?
wasn't the first year at the Alexis Park.
No, no. It was the
that
first
was
time we were
our
there.
first year.
Yeah.
Was at Alexis Park, and then I think the very next year they moved to Riv.
Yes. No. I can't remember. I have to
It
do.
was around there.
I know that I missed DC 13 actually,
Okay.
and then I think you missed 14, and then we regrouped for 15.
14 was the first year it was at the Riviera.
Okay, that's
Okay,
the one I
there we
missed
go.
because
And
suddenly
I
was at
missed
the
that
Riv.
one, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so I missed 13. I forgot why, and then you
I
missed,
missed 14.
I think you were. Was that when you were already deployed, or
I don't know.
No, that was you were later for
Yeah.
deployment.
Okay, yeah.
That was like 19.
Yeah.
So now
no,
that-
19 we did the mystery challenge.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a
so
hellish.
okay, so it was either 20 or 18 that you missed.
Maybe. Yeah, one of the 18.
I think it was
go
18
to
because that was
Yeah,
when I
didn't
went
go
by
to 18.
myself, and
well,
you know.
you didn't do mystery challenge on 19 because there wasn't mystery challenge on 19.
Okay.
Then
I
It was
don't
18,
remember.
then 20.
Okay.
It must have been 20 we
I
did
would
mystery
know because I
challenge.
won both of them. So.
There you go.
Just rub it in.
How many?
Just
how many
rub
black
it in.
badges do you have, Crux?
From 2 different contests.
How many
Okay.
forced newbies did you have on your team the second year?
We got second year. We recruited, I think, or the second time we won, I think we recruited like 3 people. So,
You beat us in all categories.
yeah, every single category. But that's fun. The contests were fun.
We didn't do that badly though.
We qualified. We qualified in Hacker Jeopardy, but then
We did.
they didn't pick our team. We were the last ones, and we were not picked. So
They were trying to jip us in Hacker Jeopardy, though.
I know.
We answered all those questions right.
I would do horribly at Hacker Jeopardy. That is not my contest.
I think I do all right.
It was steep from the prequel to the actual Jeopardy competition. Like,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, this is not too bad. Then it was like, oh shit, I don't know any of this.
yeah, I think they did that on purpose.
I don't think I do too badly
I
because
do decently on the beer drinking.
Yeah, there was another guy too who was there who's like, he's drinking these beers, he's pounding them back, and like by the end of the first round, he's taking off his shirt and he's like, woo!
Yeah, but
like,
didn't,
really,
didn't
like,
his team get like 21 beers or something?
Oh,
I think
way
so.
more
I
than
think so.
that.
Yeah, it was
way more.
I
but-
remember
I think
back when I used to compete
Like he
at
himself did, like,
Crashing
14.
Pile, there was a year where they basically made a note that the people that did Hacker Jeopardy drank more beers than people had ever at Hacker Jeopardy, and then me and Fish are sitting there. It's like we're doing a mental count. It's like, wait, we had more than that.
You had it before they started taking official count.
But of course, we were wrecked at the end of the night too.
Yeah. So really
I think-
quick fact check. Apparently it was 19 beers.
19 beers.
Yeah, so that was our quick fact check there.
Still
See,
a lot
I
of
think,
beers.
yeah, I think I could do well at Hacker Jeopardy because I'm about medium between answering questions and drinking beer.
I think I definitely could drink the beers, answer the questions. If it's the more obscure stuff, I'm decent at that. But like hard numbers, I'm not so good.
They had
See,
port
I
math
think-
on there again.
yeah, I'm not great at port math.
Yeah, I wouldn't be great at Portland.
But their Michael Jackson category, I was excellent at.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
That was in the prequel. That
yeah,
was in the prequel.
Flying
yeah,
around.
because that's all we did. We did the prequel, and I was great at the Wacko Jacko category. And the
You
other,
were.
and whatever. They had some other ones that were cool, but the
We
port
are
math.
the world. I
Yeah, but the
remember you
port
got
math,
that
I
one.
had no idea. Don't know. I have no idea.
You should have gotten port math.
I just
I
got
should-
Everybody
so-
knows. Everybody knows Gmail's default pop 3 is 995. I'm just
Does
saying.
everybody?
No.
Everybody.
And I should know, but I had no idea.
So
Email, what's that?
So let's talk about some of the other aspects of DEF CON. Like, for instance, does everybody remember, I think it was DEF CON 15 or 16 when the reporter, well, I know you don't remember, Doxy, but
I think
the
it was
reporter,
15.
okay, 15. The reporter came in and she refused a press badge and wanted to go in as human.
Right.
And then, she was trying to get these, hackers to admit to things or to talk about hacks that they've done or performed without stating that she's press. So, as we know, she got walked out. It's on YouTube. Jeff Moss was there, of course, and, So we know about this, right? Well, while we were at the con, there was actually somebody from TV Tokyo, and I'm telling you this right now, TV Tokyo approaching us. Now, he approached me and a few others, a few other people that we know. I'm wearing press badge. I'm telling everybody, I'm press. So this guy from TV Tokyo, he starts to talk to me about just general things, what I'm into, what I do for work, et cetera, et cetera. And he says, well, I'm actually working on a project about hacking because in Japan, this is kind of becoming a new thing. I mean, they love robotics and whatnot, but they don't know the hacking element of electronics. And so I'm trying to, tell this story. And I'm like, oh, wait, so are you press? He was wearing a human badge. And I was like, are you press? And he's like, well, no, I'm not, but I'm with TV Tokyo. And so he gave me his card. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, dude, fair warning. You really should tell people that you're press, because if not, you're probably going to get your ass walked out.
Yeah.
And he didn't heed my warning, though, because the next day he was still wearing press, and he was actually
Not wearing press.
Or, no, he wasn't wearing press, but he walks up to me and he's saying, hey, are you still thinking like maybe we can do that interview? I know you said you had some friends that might be interested. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't have their contact information. I lied. But I don't have their contact information. You're going to have to track them down yourself. I usually just kind of hang out in IRC. Smaction?
A member of the media lied?
Oh, I know, right? Freaking surprise.
Outrageous.
Well,
So,
okay.
Speaking of media, is like NBC actually did a story about like evil hackers in DEF CON.
Oh, God.
The thing that like just steams me is like they misquote or took a quote out of context of one of the guys at like the DEF CON Darknet contest. It's a contest about getting people to learn things and work together and community, kumbaya, and all that.
Yeah.
And they basically was like, oh yeah, well, there's this device I happen to design. Oh yeah, it'll clone all your stuff and is evil, and it's like, it just pissed me off when I heard that.
Well, I think it pissed off all of us.
That sounds about right.
That's way out of context.
To be fair, I mean, not that there needs to be a story on it. There are evil hackers at DEF CON. There's more than one or two.
But there's evil hackers everywhere. Like, there's evil anything anywhere.
But
I'm just
that's
saying
not what
someone
DEF CON's
hooked up their
about.
phone to
No.
to the open DEF CON net, and within 10 minutes, the phone had no security on it and could not be turned off. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are people everywhere like that, but that's not what DEF CON's about. That's not the message that DEF CON's trying to send.
No.
So to wrap up my story really quick about the TV Tokyo guy. So the next day, he's still not wearing press. He's still asking about, like, can I interview you? Can I interview your friends? And I'm like, no, man, it's cool. So I walk away, and that's when I'm getting on Twitter. And I didn't get a response or anything, but I was adding Jeff Moss. I was adding DEF CON 23, DEF CON Press. I was like, hey, guys, there's this guy from TV Tokyo who's not identifying himself as press. Like, just be on the lookout. So I didn't get any response, but I do hope that you guys, I hope that somebody found it, I hope that somebody was paying attention, I mean. That's all I have to say, I guess.
Yeah.
No one was paying attention to you.
Probably not, but I hope, I don't know.
I didn't even know you were talking right now. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
my computer also didn't know I was talking.
Who's going to be the person on the first mic? I mean,
Somebody knew you were talking on Twitter because they pointed you out when we were eating chicken strips.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's not, am I the only one?
What happened?
Okay, am I the only one here with like weird DEF CON stories? Like,
Well, kinda. I just
okay.
want to point out, speaking to what you said earlier, how DEF CON Darknet is about camaraderie and learning new stuff.
Right.
I never soldered before. I soldered the DEF CON Darknet badge and
Badge.
Vic. I don't.
Brad.
Badge. And I don't know where Vic is. He was right behind the camera, but I don't know where
How's
Vic
your
is.
Butte
But
keyboard?
it's beautiful. Vic actually helped me out a lot with the soldering. Vic and Hughesby, and neither of them are right here right now.
oh, Hughesby
so I
actually
can't-
just sent a text saying, I wish I was there with you guys.
okay.
Have fun for me. Hi, Hughesby.
They both helped me out with the badge soldering, so I appreciate that a lot. That was
Yeah.
cool. Learned a lot that day.
Yeah, and that's the point of, that's the whole reason I go to DEF CON is to learn and also really to network with people that maybe I see once a year or, I mean, here at the Hackerspace. This whole year, all of 2014 and 2015 has been a continuation of DEF CON 22 only because every week now I have some place to go, the Sin Shop. So,
I enjoy the parties.
yeah, the parties is great too.
DJ Jackalope, who was on our podcast about a month ago, she spun one of the parties at DEF CON this year. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a pool
She
party.
spun
Several. It was not just
parties.
one party. She spun several.
She spun one of the ones that I went
saw her,
to.
like, a couple times during DEF CON, and she was always like in a mad dash to get from one
One
location
party
to
to
another.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
So, okay, so I guess since I'm the only one with a story, wait, what story am I talking about now?
Weird stories, chicken strips.
Oh, yeah, so we're taking a break. We're in the chill out area, right? And so I'm on my laptop. We're eating chicken strips. We're hanging out. And then it's time to go, so I'm packing up and everything. I'm standing up, and I think I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt that day or a tank top or whatever. And I'm standing up, and this guy who's sitting down at the table with us, it's like a community table, it's a round table. Anybody can sit wherever they want. He points to my arm, or he points to me, and he's like, "You're Master Chen." And I'm like, "Yes. May I ask who you are?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I follow you on Twitter." I'm like, "Cool. How do you know me?" Like, I'm just...
It was really weird.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
your first stalker.
Chen told me that story because he was like, Chen gave a talk during DEF CON about stalking,
Yes.
automating your stalking, and he told me that story when I came to the chill out area. And he was like, "Dude, this guy's following me." I was like, he might have just seen your tattoo, which is also your Twitter profile picture.
You would have to look really closely, though.
It was
to
dark.
notice-
It was dark.
It was dark in the show, and he was just like,
That's true.
He was like, "Hey,
That is true.
You're Master Chin, right?" And I was like, "How does he know that?"
I know, like, okay, and I'm not trying to get a big head about it, but I was like, "Oh my God, I'm a celebrity." Somebody knew me.
You have a stalker. You have arrived.
I have several. No, I'm just
And
kidding.
now
I don't.
that stalker automates everything that you do.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine he's listening to our podcast right now. He's like, "Hey, he's talking about me."
Yeah, well, he sent me a direct message, and I sent him one back saying, "Hey, yeah, man, whenever you want to talk, like, yeah, let's talk about cool, infosec stuff." Yeah. Well, no, there were, and after my speech, I had a couple of people mention me saying, "Hey, your speech gave me so many new ideas," and I'm like, "Okay, just use the scripts for good and not evil." You know what I mean? I'm like, don't get me in trouble for, I thought I did have a disclaimer. I anus. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a stalker. You like that one, right? I anus. No?
And hopefully, Yanis, you are not a stalker.
Oh yeah, and hopefully Yanis. I like that. I gotta grab that.
Yes.
So, does anybody else have any other stories?
Well, this is my first time going to DEF CON.
Yeah, and how many
And
how
I
many
think-
days did you go?
You missed most of the
I
days.
missed 60-70% of DEF CON because of work.
75.
But I was
Doing it wrong.
I was
Supposed to
there.
get work to pay for you to go to that.
I did.
I was in transition to a new job, so I couldn't really be like, "Hey, I need to just hire me," but also I'm not going to be here this whole week. Whatever. Anyway, I was there Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, you were there.
I went Saturday and Sunday, so I saw Chen's talk and I saw some of the last stuff before they closed up and everything, and it was really cool. I saw some of the black bag stuff. I saw the wall of sheep. I saw the car hacking, and I saw all the different activities. I saw the crashing a pile, and I did the Hacker Jeopardy, and everything.
Oh, how did you like the black bag? Black bag. I really want to do that
Black
contest
bag.
next year.
Blah 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 blah.
Brag.
I want to do that next year.
Actually, me and BJ were talking about it. Was really cool. It's a really cool concept. It's a really cool idea, but it seemed a little.
I felt they might have rushed it this year.
It seemed,
Really?
yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
This year,
It's-
it seemed a little meh.
Because the setup normally with Black Bag, like you have to hunt for like the hidden files, but the way they set it up this year, it's just like, oh yeah, look to your right, there they are.
Yeah.
Well, I
it's-
think that's because for the last, this being the third year now, I think that they've done Black Bag. They haven't changed it, so if you are an attendee who has watched the Black Bag before, you know where to look.
Well, I mean, it just felt like the whole setup was rushed. Like the whole.
Yeah, because when the people because I watched it with you guys, when I saw them, they were just like everybody already knew what to do in the room, and they were just kind of like, okay, we're here, we got this, we get this, we're done, and it wasn't really like any real work besides.
I think you guys, it's because you guys are spoiled with room escapes.
Possibly no, but
Room escapes are awesome.
The lock picking was probably the hardest part because it took them quite a while. But besides that, the searching for the PGP key, the opening the cases, and the finding the hidden key in the room and everything was just sort of like an app. Like it just happened. Like it wasn't a real challenge. It didn't seem like.
I didn't actually see it ever because I've been always busy.
Yeah, you're
at
always
the
doing
time.
stuff.
So do they actually have it set up in a room, or is it just
No, it's like
area
a-
that
It was
is
like
a
it was
quote-unquote
like
room?
it was
It's
like
a 2x4 wall
It was
with,
like
like,
three
two tables,
tables.
yeah.
It was 3 tables and then a wall that you had to lock pick through.
And
Quote,
like
unquote room.
they had to search, and I'm doing air quotes for files on the computers, but the files are right on the. All they did was click the file open and then take a picture of it. And I was like, that's kind of.
Yeah, well, last year they actually had stuff on a bookshelf, and you had to look through the stuff on the bookshelf to find the stuff that you the incriminating evidence.
And I'm
was
sure
one of the
there's
things you
a
had to
time
find.
limit, or whatever. But I wish it would have been a little more fleshed out, so they actually had to look for things like they actually had to search through the computer for a PGP key,
Yeah.
or actually find a hidden file or whatever to make it seem like they were actually
I think
doing
you could
stuff.
make it a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
you could,
yeah.
And actually, I've talked to friends of mine about a similar concept before I realized what that black bag was already kind of doing. And it's you could set up a server room and run phone lines and security systems.
You
and all that.
could do that. I just felt like this year it was a little rush. I mean, last year too, instead of a laptop, they had a desktop computer. So
Oh,
if you
yeah, that was
unplugged
harder.
it from the wall, it actually turned off.
Yes.
Which is why the description said get the laptop or get the computer out without it turning off.
And I was like, it's a laptop.
It's a
I
laptop.
was
Just
like,
unplug it.
not gonna
It's
turn
on battery.
off.
It
Well,
won't turn
whatever.
off.
Yeah, that's
Don't
something I
close
noticed,
it
too.
because then it'll go into sleep mode or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's something I think you got robbed as
It
far as
just-
your
it
perception
just felt
goes.
really rushed.
Because last year was a desktop, and you had to hot swap it.
And
Yeah.
I think they could have, like, if they would have just taken one of the rooms or whatever and just made like an actual room, like turn all the lights off and had just like maybe like a CentOS or a Debian server just sitting in there. They actually had to go looking for files on the server and stuff, and what I don't know, just something to make it seem a little more involved.
I think it'd be awesome if they combined what
Room
you're
escape?
saying with like room escape.
right, because it just
Have you ever done a room escape?
I've known.
Okay.
Oh my God,
it's
it's
the same
amazing.
thing as Black Bag, but you actually I've never. This is my first one, but it just seemed like everything was right in front of their face. With Room Escape, you actually have to look for the keys and stuff. Like
You have to
You
like
have to
solve
search. You have to-
puzzles.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
more involved as opposed to, hey, the key's on the table, unlock that suitcase, and then look at the computer for the PGP key. Yada yada yada. It didn't seem like it was very whatever. It just sort of happened.
Yeah, room escapes, like you're faced with a bunch of different locks of like not physical locks. Sometimes they're encryption locks or just like random keypads, and you find the keys through thorough searching, and it's really cool.
Okay.
And
Does-
I thought it was going to be something like it was a room escape mix with computer security, so people
Which would be awesome.
They would like they go into an actual room and like all the lights are off, so all they have is like a server in the corner, and they got to get into that server while somebody else is doing whatever. But it was nothing like that. I was a little disappointed, but whatever.
Well,
No
what
big
you
deal.
have to do then, if you have ideas, is
do
say,
it.
hey, go to them and say, I know how to make this better. Let
I'm
me
doing
help
that. Do next year. I'm doing that. I'm
Do
going.
it now. Do it today.
Okay, I'm
Do
gonna
it
email them right now.
Take out your phone.
Where's my phone?
So, did anybody get a word of like how many attendees were at DEF CON?
I saw human badges. I remember last year.
They
during
still ran
closing-
out.
You mean
I remember
paper
last
badges?
year during closing ceremony, they said, paper badges.
Yeah.
Sorry, they said last year during closing ceremony that they would order something like 50,000 human badges for this year.
50?
50, and I still saw paper badges
Don't
walking
think
around.
they
No.
actually did.
No.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe 40. I don't know. There was still a lot of people.
Try something like 16, 18.
No, because last year was
they had-
28,000 people.
They had 28,000 people last year. They wouldn't go under that.
That's true.
Yeah, it was 28,000 people last year, and they only made 20,000 badges last
Can we
year.
get a fact check on that?
Yeah, can we get a fact check on that?
How many
Definitely.
people?
Attendance
DEF CON
last
attendees
year.
of 22 and 23.
Yeah, we want the DEF CON attendance of last year and this year.
And I didn't.
For those watching at home, we have a fact checker. Thank you, Zenify.
Thank you, Zenify.
And I've obviously never been before, but it seemed like just walking through and observing people that there were a lot of casual users who this wasn't something they were like when we were in the lockpicking village. The lady who said she's never been to anything like this, and she just wanted to come experience the lockpicking and different. And it seemed like there were a lot of casual users who had never been before.
But that's great.
That's
I mean,
cool.
you-
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
good,
you
right?
get a
That's
lot
awesome.
of new people each
Yeah.
year.
And
It's
and I-
encouraged.
and I-
Black hat.
I mean, we
And I-
were
and I
new
think
at
that's
one
part of
point, and I was afraid to go into lockpicking village because
Yeah.
I didn't want to look like an idiot.
And I think that's part of the. I think that's part of the
you
new
should have
people.
joined Flashbang, and we had a blast in the lockpick.
No, I mean, this was 10 years ago.
Oh.
No, and I think that's contributing to how many people would be there this year versus last year because there were a lot just from observation, like a lot of casual users who aren't into who usually don't get into computers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So that-
I mean, one of the great things I like about DEF CON is, they basically encourage people
Yeah.
to, encourage helping out noobs, essentially.
And
So,
I think that's great.
I don't know if it was always that way,
I doubt it.
but yeah, that's one of the things. Is like when I did Mystery Challenge. I mean, it was like one of the things is like you had to go and like recruit some noobs. That,
Yeah.
Like it was their first DEF CON, and you take them along, and they get involved in something awesome. So,
And I think that's great because that goes along with the whole point of our podcast is the more that people know, the better it is for everyone.
Right, right.
I think there's been a definite shift in the paradigm of DEF CON since they started introducing the kid-specific version of DEF CON.
Oh, KidCon, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
when you have 25
Roots.
years of DEF CON,
Roots.
almost,
Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
and people who've been to almost all of them,
You start having
are-
kids.
Kids are.
I think ever since they started shifting it towards being more kid-oriented or allowing more kids in, then that's when it started becoming more and more noob-friendly.
the con, I don't know, it's probably before then, but the con has matured over time because I was at some of the earlier ones like DEF CON 7 at the Alexis Park and stuff like that, and it was like it was just stupid crazy then, and a lot of the people were younger and into like just destroying things or
Yeah.
causing chaos and.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that I wanted to mention
And
is
it's everyone's grown up. A lot of people have
Yeah.
gotten married, have kids, and
Right.
So it is a more mature con. You still have people doing crazy things, but there's a lot more maturity to it, I think.
And you can get away with less on the strip too than you can at the in a hotel that's off the strip.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
True.
And I think it's also different because tech is now so integrated into our daily lives. It's more of like a informational kind of thing as opposed to a obscure. Not everybody will see this now. It's like this is our daily tech, like what we use in our daily lives. And it's
Everyone
different.
has a car.
Everybody has a car. Everybody has a mobile phone. Everybody has a laptop or a computer, and it's different than only you and 3 of your friends seeing this stuff.
I think despite what's been going on in the media lately, how the media portrays hackers, I think when you tell people, oh, there's a hacking conference over at Bally's, they're not like, oh, get away from me. They're more like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
I feel like people are, like what do you do there? Like what kind of stuff goes on?
They want to know more instead of like run away from you.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a like people can maybe be afraid of it, but at the lower psychological level, it's like, oh man, that's like a place where you could probably be bad. It's like, and I'm not saying I'm encouraging that hackers are bad. What I'm saying is people's perceptions are like, oh man, that's like some super secret conference where they get to learn all the crazy tricks. You know what I mean?
And I don't think anybody's really. I don't think anybody really has a. It obviously is different, but it's most obviously it is the media portraying hackers as bad people or whatever. But I don't think that's like a widely adopted view. I think everybody kind of knows.
I think it's slowly reversing.
It's slowly reversing.
Yeah,
There's still a huge stigma that hackers are bad. I mean,
And I think
we get that like even where we're here at SynShop, where we're the Las Vegas hackerspace, and so we have to explain what a hacker is to people that are coming off the street.
Yeah. Personal observation. I think that's more with the older crowd. I think more people are like younger, like 20s, 30s, are more curious. They're not. It's not so much like, oh, I don't want to be involved, but like, what actually is that? Because I hear you say hacker, and what does that mean? Like, what does that entail? Or
Well,
like what is that?
It's funny that you bring that up, Doxy, because Crux is actually sitting in on our show today, and I don't think we've ever asked you what you define as a hacker. Like, what's your definition of a hacker?
So my definition of myself as a hacker, I do a bit of everything, but I'm a hardware hacker primarily, but it's basically a person that finds innovative ways to take something and make it do something else.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So and I think with the new generation, it's less about being scared about what a hacker is and more curiosity as what that enables you to do or what you could do with that or how that how that applies to all the stuff that we have now because technology is so ingrained. Everything, your phone, your car, your laptops, your computer, your office, your home. Everything is mobile. It's not mobile, but everything is tech.
I think that's a perfect definition. There's nothing inherently evil about hacking.
No.
But then you can always argue Jonathan Swift's people are inherently evil, and that's where the bad media aspect of hacking comes in. But hacking itself, in most people's ideas of what hacking is, it's not inherently bad. It's just trying to make something do what it's not supposed to do.
Right. And if you go back to like the roots of the MIT days where the hacking was the model railroad thing where they were building stuff, and then you had people like Steve Wozniak that was building a computer in their garage. That's like the early hackers of the day, and
right.
People have their fancy iPhones in their pocket to thank for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you will notice, by the way, guys, that Fox is not here, and there's another story behind that too.
Yeah,
she's
I'm super
actually
jealous.
Doing a contract right now in Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii.
Yeah, she's in Hawaii right now, and actually, we talked earlier a couple of days ago, and I was like, okay, I went to Hawaii last year, and I started the hashtag Hacker in Hawaii, and I checked Twitter, and nobody else has actually used that hashtag. So I was like, Fox, use it, and when I go back in November, I'm going to use it, and we're going to just take this hashtag, and it'll be a thing. Anyway,
Cool.
she's in Hawaii, so that's why she's not here. So hi, Fox.
I'm not jealous of Fox. She's just looking at waves and rainbows and eating Kahlua pork. That's
She was on
whatever.
the IRC channel earlier, and it's like, shouldn't you be doing like Hawaii things?
Yeah, like why are you
Yeah,
online? Like go surf or something, right?
Go surf or go do stuff.
Well, I can't be mad at her though, because when I'm out there, I'm like, I'll be on the beach in a chat room because I just think that's kind of cool.
I would like to,
I know.
I would like to thank Fox because she did a lot of interviews
That's
during
right.
DEF CON.
That's true.
And
She's
we'll actually be releasing them throughout the week next week. We're hoping for one a day, a new interview every day. But she did a lot of interviews.
She
a
did
lot of
5
great,
total, I think,
a lot
yeah.
of great interviews.
I want to make a small contest for our listeners. One of Fox's interviews was done in a strip club. Can you tell which one when you hear them on the air?
Which interview or which strip club?
Which interview?
Which
I think that would
wait,
be
which
a-
interview? Which strip club?
I think which strip club.
Which strip club will be
strip
better?
club?
Because I don't know if Chen could edit out that much bass. So we'll see if they can name which particular strip club. It is.
And if we have a listener that follows us on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, if they can tell us, we have those VPN Unlimited codes.
Oh, cool.
That is
Very
correct.
Cool. Do you want to
Doxy,
explain
can you
that?
explain
Yeah.
the sponsorship?
We have a semi-sponsorship from VPN Unlimited. They gave us a number of month trials of VPN Unlimited that we can give out to our listeners, and we're going to be doing random contests throughout the next couple of weeks or months or whatever until we have 20 of them. So we have 20 of them to give out, and we'll make up contest things to give them out, and then we'll give them out to our listeners.
I am down for that. That's
So
cool.
now, unofficially, the first one is whoever can tell us what strip club this interview took place in will get the first VPN Unlimited code.
All right. Thank you. Well, thanks, Doxy, for one. Thanks, Doxy, for getting that sponsorship because that was all you. And thanks, Maction, for the contest idea.
So
When it comes to strip clubs, there's no stone I won't leave. Will leave unturned.
okay, and we don't really have any official rules or anything, but if you know or if you have an idea, comment on our Facebook page. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
comment. Well, there's several ways to
Get-
reach us.
get a hold of
comment,
us, I think.
Comment on our Facebook page. Use the contact us page on the website.
Right. And just because,
Send a direct message on Twitter.
yeah, I guess really because there's timestamps for everything. Whoever sends us the correct strip club first will get the code. So it really doesn't matter where you do it.
well, the thing is, I think anybody who went to DEF CON knows where that strip club was or knows where it
they'll
was.
know, but will they respond? Is the
Ah,
thing.
fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair enough.
That's the thing. A lot of people probably know, but will they actually submit their answer? Is the thing.
Yeah.
I
So-
know, and I didn't even see the interview. So.
Before we move on to post con or not con stuff, I did speak at the DC Sky Talks on Sunday morning.
Congratulations, Chen.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
That
Very good.
It
It was a
nice
very
of you.
good talk.
Right, and I'm not here to toot anything or like toot my own horn or anything, but it was Sunday morning,
Thank
10 a.m.
God.
Yeah, no, so it was Sunday
This
morning,
is a
10 a.m.
PG video stream.
It was Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And it was only like a half-packed room, but I totally expected that because everybody's recovering from Saturday night, But I think you guys were all there. Crux, I know you were at the contest area or Hardware Hacking Village. But did you guys have thoughts? I'm open to feedback.
I thought it was decently full. There was quite a few people in there.
Was
I
it
wish you
one
could
that
have.
was recorded or no?
No, Sky
No,
Talks
it
is
was
never
Sky Talks.
recorded.
Yeah, I wish you could have run a. I wish you could have run a live demo.
I know. I should have
I know.
probably prepared.
Because
that
you were
better.
like, thanks BJ for the code, and then you're like, I can't do a demo.
You
Well, I was
you
ready.
said it. You were like, I'm gonna attempt a live demo, and then you just took a shot of tequila and moved on.
You should explain the tequila.
Okay, well,
Because you had a cup of tequila,
yeah. So
like 8 ounces of tequila.
So at the beginning of the speech, Blue Knight, or I asked Blue Knight, I was like, "Hey, do you guys have anything to drink?" He's like, "Are you just into water?" Or like, I was like, "I'll take a shot," And he's like,
Flavored
"Okay,
water.
yeah, flavored water." So I was like,
water.
so he's like, "Are you like, what kind of drink do you like?" I was like, let's just go with tequila." He's like, "Okay, well, I've got 1800, I've got Jose, and I was like, I'll just take the 1800. So he fills up the hotel plastic cups, that you get water in. He fills that up, and he's like, "There, that's a Sky Talk shot." And I was like, "Son of a bitch." So I took about half of it before the speech started, and I was okay. I started off just fine, and then halfway through, I think you, BGN,
Yeah.
son of a bitch, you were all like, so I heard, what'd you say?
Well, usually like, does anybody have any questions? I raised my hand. You picked me. I was like, yeah. Earlier in the presentation, you got a cup of tequila poured for you, and I'm still wondering why it's still full.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, I guess I can't finish the speech without finishing the shot.
And after he took that shot, he coughed, took a second, and he was immediately drunk.
Yep.
I know it
He
was
was
like instant.
immediately-
It was like that cough was the line of sobriety for Chen.
That was all that was holding back the dam of drunkenness that came out. He immediately lost everything. He's like, okay, this is it. We're done now.
But it was funny. I think I think it was funny. I don't know if you guys like it.
It was.
Were you
it
guys
was,
entertained?
It was good.
It was great. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay, so now to explain that a little bit, I know that you guys were all waiting for the live demo, and I had it actually ready on my laptop. But the problem was that the projectors were in presentation mode. So like I had the PowerPoint in front of me, and then the slides were on the side, and it wasn't in a mirrored fashion, right? So like I wasn't mirroring my desktop or my screen. It was
Extended?
No, it wasn't even extended. I guess PowerPoint has like a presentation mode where it detects the projectors and just pushes it to it. Like so, something like that. Yeah, I hate it too. But I think next year I might do HTML5 if I speak. I don't know. But anyway, so it was in that mode, and so I'm looking at an SSH tunnel or a SSH screen, and I'm like, okay, I'm already drunk. I already had these shots of tequila, and I'm like, how am I going to get this over there on these projectors? So I'm like, I'm so sorry, you guys. My code is just...
Demo god.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what? My code is on GitHub. Go to GitHub. I swear it's there. Just plug in your parameters and have fun, right? You know,
But yeah, but it was okay because you showed code snippets and everything, so we got an idea of what kind of code you had and everything.
Right, and I think it was just a proof of concept, right? So it's like I called it cutting at the edges, right? So instead of following a target directly and just being really super creepy, you follow their friends and you're inadvertently creepy.
And just be
right?
just a little bit creepy instead of full on creepy.
Exactly.
You mentioned Dr. Haha Lung in your talk too, and that's actually one of the tactics that he
Right.
mentioned in his book was cutting at the edges.
Right, and I thought of you, BGM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good book. That's
It
a
was
good
funny,
book.
and like I think I asked one of the questions was like, okay, so how many people have ever felt like they've been stalked? And then Hughesby's all like, "I love you, Chad," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man. That's cool."
That's support. That's fan
Yeah.
support right there.
So-
No, but yeah, it was. I thought it was a great talk, and I didn't get
thank
to
you.
go do a lot of talks because obviously I had to work. But whatever, it was cool and I liked it.
Well, I'm
Yada yada yada.
yeah.
Work.
I really like speaking at the cons, so I do have a couple of ideas. It's just a matter of if I can flesh it out and get accepted next year.
I wanna-
But I would love to speak again.
I want to do a talk on a Python script that I have an idea for,
There you go.
but I have to work it out. I have a whole year.
Yep. So before now, does anybody have anything else to add about DEF CON? Because I think we've pretty much talked about the whole con. Like,
Smaction, what did you think
food
of this
was
year's
expensive.
DEF CON?
Well, I really enjoyed myself. I had a good time. Really enjoyed myself. I had a good time. This is one of the few years I got to go all 4 days. Usually I would be covering Black Hat, and so Black Hat still runs on Thursday, so I really didn't see Thursday DEF CON very much, but this year I didn't cover Black Hat. So I was really surprised by the mass of humanity there on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
And
Oh, did we get numbers, by the way?
Yeah, it's estimated a little over 20,000
from
This
last
year?
year or this year?
from this year. Last year,
yeah.
Oh, last year.
Oh snaps!
Okay, so last year was
Okay.
16,000. This year was a little over 20,000? Okay.
Okay. Those, I guess, that sound better.
I was way overestimating.
Yes.
And I took
Way
on that vote, so-
50
overestimating.
is,
I think they ordered 15,000 badges.
Way
and then
overestimating.
had
All right, fair
paper
enough.
lists. Anyway, what I was really surprised by this year and did enjoy was the alternate speaking paths, not just Sky Talks, because they've become a part of DEF CON already, but all the villages had sets
that's
of
right.
speakers and stuff, and that was pretty amazing. I'm hoping that those talks end up on YouTube
yeah,
or something like that.
They got videotaped this year, so they're supposed to be.
That's cool.
online.
They
Okay,
did.
good.
They did something similar last year. I don't know if they did it for all the villages, but I at least know the social engineering village
Yeah.
had a speaker last year.
But this one, the Internet of
'Cause
Things,
we went
had,
to that
had
talk.
speakers, and social engineering had them, and
There was one in hardware
biohacking.
hacking.
Yeah.
Right. So I had a lot of fun. I know you guys did too.
had
Any other
fun.
questions, comments?
No,
All right.
I
So
think,
should go
uh,
to DEF CON once.
yeah, everybody should go
should.
at least once.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
we're gonna have a
And
vendor
get
booth next
involved
year.
with something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get involved.
Learn how to pick a lock. I mean, if you're afraid of anything else, picking a lock is easy. That's a good introduction.
You know, that was one thing. I did go with the goal of going to Lockpicking Village this year. And my goal was, I started at the beginning. I've never picked a lock. But my goal was to be able to get out of handcuffs. And the guy goes, "Oh, you don't have to
Planning
do
ahead,
that.
I see.
He goes, you don't have to do that. I can show you how to do that right now." But he couldn't find a shim because it was so crowded. Everyone was using.
So you got
it.
locked in.
No, so I learned how to pick a lock, but I still do not know how to get out of handcuffs. My one stated goal of
DEF CON 24.
they're coming up.
Yeah, that's my lucky number. So
I think.
yeah, it is.
I
Okay,
think
so
I think Smaction has an analog
Yeah.
blog post for us.
So we
as
are-
as the legal correspondent.
right, we are running just a little bit out of time. So really quick, we want to remind everybody we are at 117 North Forest Street in the heart of downtown Las Vegas at the Sin Shop Hackerspace. Come on down, visit, say hi, hang out with us.
Limited amount of time.
Yeah, in a limited amount of time, which we can discuss that another time. So we'll talk about contact information later as well. So Smaction, what's up?
All right, hi, I'm Smaction, your legal correspondent. Yes, I just play a lawyer on the radio. And This is talking about Vimeo, the website Vimeo.
Right.
They got a takedown notice, from a DMCA takedown notice from, just basically one of the rights holders. In this case, I think it was Sony. And what they wanted taken down was all sorts of stuff that had the word pixels in it.
Because of their movie, right?
But
Right.
Pixels.
That's
are
a very common
Exactly.
word.
Yes,
Yeah,
But
that's
exactly.
here is an example of some of the things they had
Synac is
taken
a thing.
down. These included Pixel Lifeboy, a filmmaker's project that he uploaded in 2010. A dance video called Detuned Pixels, okay, uploaded in 2014. A short film called Pantone Pixels, uploaded in 2011. And, a video by a graphic designer when he was speaking at the 2015 Pixel Festival. Now, first of all, I didn't even know there was a Pixel Festival is what I take away from that. It's like, but the other thing is that they wanted their own, in the takedown letter, they wanted their own trailer for their own movie taken down. Because, of course, it's just a bot
Yeah.
that goes through and gets all this stuff.
So was that on, that answers my question. I was going to ask if that was on purpose, but I'm guessing not.
No.
They've automated.
Yeah.
that way.
Here's the problem with this. The only way, with the DMCA, the way it stands, the only way to get these down is like to file, either plead with the company that sent it to actually rescind the letter, or to file a cross complaint.
Yeah. Or you could trademark the word, but I don't think you could trademark pixels.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And the thing is that most, even though they're obviously in the right, and in this case Vimeo has put the videos back up, it's still one strike in their DMCA policy at Vimeo, and 3 strikes and they remove your account.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Wow.
And that's not an uncommon
That's
baseball
ridiculous.
metaphor throughout the industry. So
I think Google developer accounts are the same way, but that has nothing to do with any of this.
Well, this reminds me a lot of what King did back during the whole Candy Crush thing, where they trademarked the word candy
Oh, King
and
Candy,
demanded that everything with candy in the App Store get taken down, and they actually won. And there was there were games predating Candy Crush by 4 or 5 years, like back when G1 first came out, that had to be taken down. There's this
Boy.
one guy who was just trying to support his mom's hospital bills with his game, which was basically Candy Crush, but he made it 2 years before Candy Crush came out. And Candy Crush was basically a carbon copy of this game.
funny how that works when you
Yeah.
have money.
Yeah, don't be surprised at what you can trademark or patent and get away with, because, we've recently had the Synac issue. And, hey, Paris Hilton tried, she failed, but she tried to copyright the word hot. Like, that's hot. She tried to copyright it, and of course she failed, but the fact that it can be attempted and actually you have lawyers looking at this, I just find that hilarious and funny. Sorry,
I'm
Doxy.
going to copyright the space.
There you go.
So anything that has a space in it, you owe me money.
Yep. Take that out. That's awesome. So,
And yet E.E. Cummings would owe you nothing.
all right. Are you guys actually ready for the lightning round of Hacker News?
Which order are we going in?
What do you guys want to do?
Me first.
Okay, you first.
Okay,
all
we'll
right, so
go-
we're going to go
we'll go
counterclockwise then.
counterclockwise.
Okay, so basically, for those who don't know what the lightning round is basically, in the show we talk about discussion.
Can I interject one thing real quickly?
Okay.
It seems King dropped the candy trademark last year
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
because of the bounce back that they were getting.
Well, good.
I mean, are they
Also,
whatever?
I don't know how they trademark the word candy. You're not supposed to be able to trademark common words.
like Synac.
Like
Well, you can apply for it. Was it actually granted?
Well, we'll have to delve into that.
We'll have to check
we'll
that.
have to look.
Stat boy.
I do know there was a post on Reddit though by that guy I was mentioning earlier who lost the claim against Candy Crush and had to change the name of his game, and everybody had to re-download it, which made him lose all of his.
Yeah.
And
players.
wasn't this, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't this the story where Apple Store caved, but the Google Play didn't?
No, opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, guys, lightning round. So, we do a lot of discussion in this podcast, and then we save the news for later. And what we like to do is we read the headlines, we give our 1-2 sentence, maybe 5-hour comments, Yeah, I
I've
know.
never seen it 1 2
I know.
cents
Hey, I'm
ever.
trying to say what it's supposed to be. So we give our 1 or 2 cent comment, and then we encourage you guys to go out, read the article, and come up with your own opinion. We don't want to teach you guys how to. We don't want to tell you guys what to think, but hopefully we inspire you guys to do your own investigation. So,
We should involve Greybot in this.
Ah,
And
there
have
you
him
go.
summarize all these articles.
all right, here we go. So again, these articles are from thehackernews.com. Okay. So the first one, here we go. Facebook fired an intern after he exposes how users can be tracked with their location.
That sounds about right.
Glad I deleted my Facebook account.
Ah,
I don't. This doesn't surprise me. I'm
Can
just
you?
gonna.
You can't delete your Facebook. You can just like
Deactivate it?
Deactivate it.
Well,
for-
deactivate it
But
is-
you deactivate it for like 2 weeks and then you can delete it. Right?
I
or
think
something
you have
like
to
that?
send like a written
Supposedly-
letter.
It
Yes.
supposedly automatically deletes.
No. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure the information's still there.
It's
Yeah.
it's still in Facebook servers.
Yeah.
oh my God. Okay, you guys will like this next one. Incomplete stage fright security patch leaves Android vulnerable to text hacks still.
Not surprised.
They roll. I was reading about like all the carriers are scrambling now to roll out stage fright patches, but there's another vulnerability within stage fright or something that's causing problems. Something that I read up on.
Man, stage fright is the gift that just keeps on giving as far as news.
It's like the herpes of Android, Android vulnerabilities.
The article that was linked in the update for not last week's, 2 weeks ago, the podcast 2 weeks ago, where you guys talked about stage
Yes.
fright. That article explicitly states that Google will almost not. It's not likely for them to ever patch it because they have to work with the carriers.
Well,
and the
Google
carriers
patched
aren't
it a
going
while
to be able
ago.
to.
It's
Yes.
the
It's the
carriers.
carriers
carrier's
that
fault,
aren't
yeah.
going to
And
send
that-
patches.
and-
Sprint, you're
and
never
be-
getting enough.
Because of that, Samsung now is rolling out a security update every month for their phones, supposedly, in response to this. So
Well,
now-
what
now-
you can
I-
do
now
is you
every
can
month
load
they'll
a
have
custom ROM too.
Well,
But-
I
but
have
for our
I have
casual users-
I have a Samsung phone with a
Yes.
ROM that's dated back in April, but I just want to point out that someone sent an MMS in this group chat and it says stage fright protected.
Yes.
It didn't load the MMS. I have to actually physically click on it to load the MMS.
But this is like Motorola's rolling out an update on the 10th. It was the 10th, I think, that they rolled out an update for the stage fright vulnerability, and now Samsung and somebody else is going to be doing supposedly monthly security updates to patch for stuff like this.
Yeah, so you mentioned running a custom firmware for your phone. The problem is like most people they don't have the tech
I know.
skills to do that.
I know.
And even
Which means they rely on the carrier, and the carrier,
Right, I know.
as Hughes B pointed out, the carrier has no vested interest in rolling out these updates.
for in North America, for us, they kind of do. For other countries, they have no interest at all because of the cost to them to update the phone's firmware. It's an absorbent amount of money for them to update and then have to. But whatever. So no, they really don't.
Okay, next. Ransomware attacks threaten wearable devices and the Internet of Things. I'm scared now because I have a Pebble.
Interesting.
Like they even see you try to hack my goggles.
I've been eyeing those things forever. Go.
I have been one of the biggest critics of the Internet of Things because I've always wondered, why do I need an internet-enabled toaster?
You don't. No
I-
one needs that.
Just toast the weather into your bread. It's great.
Maybe you just want your toast to text you. when
I
it's done.
personally, I'm the biggest geek here probably, and I hate Internet of Things. That stupid meme that
As a buzzword,
as
right?
a buzzword.
I
I'm
don't-
all for like doing tech stuff, but I don't like the term Internet of Things.
So I just want to going on this article. So Chen's talk at DEF CON was about pushing stalking to your wearable. So his talk was titled "Automate Your Stalking." So my comment's going to be "Automate Your Patching."
Ah, okay, fine.
You know what?
what?
I'm thinking. Oh, never mind. This is that would take up a whole lot of time. So
Okay,
never mind.
next. Windows 10 doesn't stop spying on you, even after disabling its creepy features.
Guess who installed Windows 10 today?
What? I did too, actually. But it was just there. I didn't mean to upgrade, but it was like, hey, you've upgraded Windows 10. I was like, oh shit.
I used to be really concerned about privacy, and Honeybee is even more so. But once I installed Gmail on my phone and switched over to having a Gmail account, I knew I'd given up any privacy. I look at it now and going, I'm in the twilight of my life. By the time my privacy is really gone, I'll be gone. It's fine. You know?
See, but Smaction, you're like one of those guys who are like, oh man, I don't care about my privacy. It doesn't matter, and that's why you.
Well, if I was younger, it would. But now I'm like, nah. I have no more secrets. It's over.
It's so involved now because of everything that you need in your life to function.
Well, earlier today in the IRC channel, Vic was asking how I liked Windows 10. I just had it installed for about an hour at the time, and I was telling him I'm still turning off things that are going to track me.
That's awesome. So you're not sharing your internet connection,
No,
are you?
I went through
Okay.
everything, and I turned a lot of it off.
All right, next one. Change this Facebook privacy setting that could allow hackers to steal your identity. I wonder which setting, because I'm pretty sure there are several.
Stay logged in while walking away from your computer.
Boom. Wait, what?
That's how the 12-year-olds hack your
Is
Facebook.
that one of the settings?
That's how the 12-year-olds hack your Facebook. They come up, oh my God, I just hacked Johnny's Facebook. I always comment on this.
Hacked with quote hands.
That's like
My only hack of Facebook, which has now been closed by Facebook, was really a social engineering attack. Because if you're someone's friend, of course you can see you can see all their posts and everything. But if you then close your account, you disappear from their friends list. But when you turn back your account on, say 2 weeks later, if you turn it off and then you turn it back on 2 weeks, a month later, you're friends with everybody you were friends with before. So you can go in, read their wall, and then turn it off, and then it doesn't look like you're their friend, so they forget about you.
So you make a throwaway account.
Yes.
I think you were explaining this at DEF CON. You make a throwaway account for the person who want to look at the wall. You just send them a random request.
Right.
Odds are they'll say yes.
Right.
Especially if you're pretending to be a pretty girl. Odds are they'll say yes. So they
I know you're
accept
not
you.
pretending. What? I don't know. I just said something funny.
Pretty
I
sure
thought
I'm
it
a
was
dude. I mean, that's what I was in the mirror this morning. Might have changed on my way here.
It made a lot more sense in my head. Anyway, that's the end of the lightning round.
But yeah, you become a pretty girl, send them a friend request, they accept you. You can spy on them, delete your account. They forget they ever even added you, and then you reactivate it whenever you see
but
fit.
Facebook is finally smarter than me. They've taken care of that.
I'm pretty sure there are other ways. So, that's the end of the lightning round. So does anybody else have anything to say?
nope.
Anybody who's watching live, thank you. We are here at the Sin Shop in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here every night, not every night, sorry, every Friday night. We're starting at 8 p.m. so that we can do the live stream on YouTube. It is 117 North 4th Street. And I've already said in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. If you want to get a hold of us, all of our contact information is on GREYNOISE. That's GREYNOI.SE. That's how you can get a hold of our IRC accounts or everything. I mean, everything.
Nice.
Good talk.
Yeah, there you go.
Private keys, you name it.
Yeah, private keys, that too. All right, so my name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
This is Smaction.
And this is Crux.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Where's the stop button?